Okay. Hello. There we go. Just making sure that was online finally after everything. I wanna try something new, something different today, but later after I run out of things to talk about because I found a interesting enough video to sort of comment on top, like a little bit of a maybe reaction, but not so much because I don't want to really put the video on the screen. I would rather if people just went and watch the video themselves, but I'm not going to do that quite yet because I still have other stuff that I want to talk about, other things that I really care about. But this talks about character design, and I know enough about it to sort of wanna see what this person has to talk about. So it might be, a little bit American, Also, it's a Sunday. On my pajamas because that's comfortable and nice. And it will be quite interesting to also talk about beauty standards in society because two things can be true, yeah. Also, do you like my hold up screen? It's a little bit spoopy. Not too spoopy, just kind of mysterious. Anyways, here's my drawing stuff. Hang on, I need to put on a playlist here. Hang on. It says I'm gonna read the full title. It's called uh what is this? Wait, there we go. A playlist Nintendo music that makes your morning work better. Let's see what's the links. It sounds kind of adorable. Yeah. Yeah, I have no plans. I know I have a lot of paintings, but sometimes it's just I just got frustrated with all of it, okay? So I'm just doing whatever right now. Trying to make my brush as close as possible to what I'm used to on Photoshop. I don't think I can ever get it working. One-to-one like Photoshop. I don't like this. I don't like this overlap. But I cannot do anything about it. I've done my best. Oh, it feels a little bit thin. There we go. Brush, we roll. I could draw maybe a character, maybe a fan art. I have no idea. Or maybe just try and do a study. The most likely thing. Just making sure that I have everything that I need here. Okay, that's it. Yeah, we could try painting. I'm not that convinced. I just want to sort of try and liner things again. So, well, I do love these brushes, but I much rather use these for sketching, you know. They're very fun, but for liner, I don't feel that I have as much control. Or up against my quiet moments. Also after this I'm gonna have to do groceries, which is not going to be nice. Gonna be a little bit tiring. My door is slowly opening because I didn't close it properly anyways. Sort of inventing facial structures. As you can see, I'm having a lot of fun sort of sketching out. Of course, these things take your focus away, so thankfully. I don't know how many live streams I've said this, but I'm like, I'm going to clip this. I finally come to clip this, but to be fair, I wasn't really talking a whole lot. I was very tired. I am no longer tired. I have had my breakfast, and I've actually slept a lot better. And even my dog, Polo, has sort of started getting used to not being able to sleep on my bed. It's very spoiled. Very needy. No, to be fair, my bed is much more comfortable than lying on the floor with their own bed. It's also much more warmer, which they love, but also like I don't quite like either. Also try and apply some of the things that I've learned with by studying Rifu. You're a very cool artist that does art on PainttoolSAI. And they do like really good art. I think they do cheat sometimes. They use sometimes, I believe, probably Blender and other programs to do some other effects, but most of the work is done on PainttoolSAI, which is fantastic and just impressive. But also a huge reminder that to all artists that your tool does not matter. Your knowledge and ability matters, and how much you want to refine this ability. It's been a while since I've involved spirals on my work. I had a friend that used to sort of poke a little fun at me because I always added so many spirals, but also because it looked kind of pretty. It looks pretty though. Of course, this is not necessarily because I was inspired by Tim Burton, in case anybody wants to sort of make that association, because whenever somebody sees a spiral, they're like, oh, Tim Burton! And I'm like, no, thank you, but no. I remember seeing somebody doing something like that, but I'm like, why have I not been compared to that one creepy story instead, though? I think that's a little bit more, you know, what's it called? I forgot the name of the story. Hang on. For a manga. Jujutsu! Yeah, I'm like, why am I not being compared to Jujutsu instead? Or like, what's the Uzumaki, there we go. I like Komineko, like, no, that's Ryushiki. That's not the same thing. Yeah, I'm like, you're gonna compare me, at the very least try and compare me to, Uzumaki. I think a lot of people have seen that. It's more on the horror niche side of things, and not a whole lot of people know where that is from. Maybe let's make this character sort of like some sort of gothic Lolita type of costume design, I suppose. And before any gringos come in and be like, oh, why do you say Lolita? That's like a horrible name. And I'm like, no, it's based on the name Lola, which is a real name. People are named like this in here. And it doesn't have that connotation related to that one book about that one absolutely terrible monster, okay? Not because something has a name means that a person is immediately bad. Like, oh my god, you guys. Also, like, you really need to stop that, because I do remember, like, there's an artist called, it was called, Uli Moog. I think they changed the name, probably because they got fucking tired of fucking Americans, relating that stupid name to that stupid book. Well, it's not that stupid, I think it's, a book that warns, people about, how certain monsters view things, and they do not take accountability for their actions, but like, seriously? And I do remember seeing various posts threatened to the artist, just being super tired of people being like, oh my god, why are you like naming yourself after something so horrible? And she's like, my name is Lola. And, like, my family, like, they just call me Lolita because it's cute. It's like, why are we allowing a fictional monster? Because, like, I don't think the character is even real. It's it was like a crime book told from the perspective of the monster. I haven't really read the book. I know about it and I know how sort of more or less works, but yeah, not quite. Not there yet. I have a lot of books to read, okay? I'm very slow at reading. But yeah, people need to chill with that name. Please, because the real victims are the people with also the name of Lolita. And also the character of the book. The little girl. Have to be careful with the lines. Yeah, it's just a little bit of a tiny little rant. It's yeah, it's wild how art can shift perceptions on different ways. I think that's the thing that where you can sort of put the blame on art. It's about perception, not so much about actions. I don't think it necessarily has to like equate of like, oh, you watch violence, therefore you will also do violence. But I guess another thing that happens is that some sort of perception or kind of changes. I don't think it's either or, you know. Can I say that things do not influence, especially when we live in a world where everything that you do has an action, like it has a consequence. I mean, like for every action there is a consequence. Of course, not all consequences are just as fatal as some people like to imply. Like you will not die if you take a photo. But maybe after you took a photo, no, there's something that has changed. A resource has been taken. I'm like, well, not really, because you just took a photo. What sort of resource? I'm like, think about it. It's about energy. The camera took a little bit of energy to take a photo. You know, electricity, battery, you know, just a little bit. Not too much, but a change has occurred. I know what I'm saying is absolute bullshit. I'm just sort of talking out of my ass. There you go. I must open the YouTube thing. I was too scared. That might produce sound and give me a heart attack. Why I have these thing? Now I think about it, hang on. I think I might need to charge my little tablet before I go to do something else. There you go, saved. There you go. I should also have access to my chat because I couldn't see it before. I have the reference over here. Let me get a real reference of the neck ruffles thing. Oh yeah, I don't remember what I wanted to say with the perspective and art. Like for example, this is one of the things that probably irks me more about Disney. That I don't think the artist had a bad intention. The consequences of it are just very bad, especially for a country like Mexico that's very poorly educated, and it's yeah, it sucks. But when it comes to alebrijes, if anybody has seen the movie Coco, they added alebrijes. I'm like, okay, that's kind of neat. And I know the intent was sort of to try and represent this cool piece of thing that these people that traveled to Mexico sort of saw and thought it was cool, you know. But you can sort of tell that okay, so it was two things. It was in a little bit a way to sort of try and explain that Mexico is a very Catholic country, but also like also showcase this cool bit of art that maybe the author of that movie or director thought it was like, oh my god, these are like ancient guardians of the Aztecs or something like that. And I'm like, they're not that old. And I am very sure that with that movie, even Mexican people thought that like, oh my god, so alebrijes, so they're totally like pre-Hispanic, like ancient art of like Aztec angels or spiritual guardians, and I'm like, no, they're not that old. they're literally a piece of contemporary art, which is the wildest thing to imagine. Because you look at them and they're like these colorful little things. I'm not drawing here now because you're just talking. I'm actually browsing for pictures. But it does make me quite angry because I'm like, you know, like I'm pretty sure that was also misinformation from our side. Maybe they lied to his face and he's like, oh my god, that's so cool. Like he just the dude just wanted to like sort of portray that in his story. Just thought it was a cool thing. But oh my god, the damage, the damage of the perception that the knowledge is now tainted because people are just yeah, Mexicans love to be proud of their culture, but they absolutely hate actually supporting it with money, you know. As long as it's free, they will support it. But yeah, they're kind of shit. And, well, yeah, I don't know what else to say to you, man. Like, I'm not too far up with these, rebels. Hang on. But yeah, like, things like that. And, I think that's where art mostly influences. Like, there are even certain sounds that, I think it's very interesting to know about, but also, like, it's also very funny when you know the context. For example, there's a video on somebody who loves watching birds, sort of criticizing the use of what is it called, the loon bird, I believe, for a lot of sound effects in movies, especially for alien planets. And he's really taken aback because he's like, why the fuck is there a loon in space in this particular like area? And it's even funnier because when you realize you're like, oh well, it's just a silly bird. But on the other hand, you had to also kind of realize that maybe artists take well, experts on a single area just can be taken out of something when most people are just like, oh my god, there's this mysterious sound, like this is very cool. And I am sure that, like, fairly certain that they do not even consider the same position for their sound effects that other people or one particular expert of one particular area might be like, wait, this isn't right, what the hell is this? And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. So in a way I don't think game it does much because, you know, it's about creativity, you know, that's what art is for. You're kind of like using whatever resources you have on planet Earth to make ambience. And I think just having a silly bird sound used as an instrument for sound effects, I don't think that's as bad as some experts would like to imply, you know. Like, I don't think people were as mad, for example, of like, for example, with TARDIS, Doctor Who, you know, using piano strings to make the sound that it does. Like, I don't think a whole lot of people, I don't think musicians are that's taken out of the story because it uses piano strings, you know. I think it's a valid way of making sounds. No, to be fair, there's almost no changes made to the sound effect. So, like, one thing is using piano strings to make a sound effect and make it something that doesn't sound like a piano. They're just taking the noise that animal makes and just sort of trying to fit that in, you know, with no changes at all, or not trying to like alter the sound so it sounds even more interesting. So there can be an argument for that. Let's try and take into account all the possibilities as well. I think I don't fucked up here. There you go. Sorry. Why am my dog so angry? I don't know if you could hear that, but that was loud. Are quite mad. Probably some dog trying to shit in front of the house, because that happens way too often. And you know something? I understand their anger. Like, why the fuck are you shitting in front of us? That's rude, bro. But also kind of scares me a little bit because I'm like, oh, what is going on outside? But now it smells like just a dog. taking a shit and trying to mark their territory, even though it's our territory. But you know, dogs are responsibility to do not go in the same sentence here in Mexico. You know, people just take their dogs for a shit and only open the door when the dog's finished and wants to come back. What's more fucked up than that? That most of the time dogs are not really supervised, and yeah, they're let out into the street where cars pass rather often, you know. Something I had to rant about because I'm like, there's way too much irresponsibility in that regard. So I will not take out my dogs if they don't have a leash. Unless it's an area that I know where they can be safe, because I know there may be solid big grass, there's enough space for them to run. They don't run very far though. They're spoiled little babies. They want Mama to beat them. But yeah, it's okay. I think they're learning to do things on their own. Certain areas. Yeah, I like this quite a bit better. A lot more. Yeah. I am doing a lot of that. I know it can look a little bit annoying, but you sort of want to change your perspective. I think we'll just leave it at that with this sketch. Now we actually use some line art with this brush, which is entirely different from what we were doing. But I feel that I have way more control with this sort of line tool. Are things dinosaur want to rant about? Okay, so hang on. I need to collect myself. Oh yeah, Plants vs Zombies too. No, not really. Just Plants vs Zombies franchise. Oh my god, what the hell is going on? So they tried to remaster the first game, which is already perfect. They somehow managed to fucking ruin it with AI of all things. I think they used AI upscaling and made things look worse. Also, they butchered the music by Laura. Laura? Laura. Oh, you know, Laura. It's a disaster piece. Nah, it's really bad though. That's just the little point of the iceberg because it's been like 6 years since they've been developing Plants vs Zombies 3. They changed the art style again, and I don't. It looks worse. Like, look, I like the art style, but I don't think it fits the game. You know, I don't think that's what the game should need. I think the game needs to go back to its roots. Of course, that would be wonderful if they did actually fire the original creator of the game and sort of missed out on Laura's talent as a musician. The whole situation just makes me so angry. And it's very funny because there's a mod for Plants vs Zombies 1. And it's called Plants vs Zombies Fusion. There we go. They copied it. They saw that it was popular and they're like, oh my god, let's do that. And they are sort of doing that, but like nowhere near as cool as Plants vs Zombies Fusion. Like, how the okay, maybe it's a little bit more organized because yeah, Plants vs Zombies Fusion is a fan project. It just feels like they have no idea what to do, you know. It's I don't know what they're doing, and it makes me so mad. And really, this all went wrong with Plants vs Zombies too. I know that game has a lot of fans, but I think I feel justified on hating the game for as long as I have, you know. Because the game has always been gritty. It's just that it has increasingly gotten grittier. Also, I find it wild that there's a lot of people defending the grit, because I think that's been one of the things that people have criticized the most over the years. It's like people usually defend it like, oh my god, you can just beat this sort of thing without like getting microtransactions, but like people are just arguing that they don't even want to see those in the first place, you know. Not that they are also buying it, they just don't want it. They don't even want it in here. Like, the first game, like, yes, it's short, but it has way more content. Especially considering its price, you know? The state of Plants vs Zombies franchise makes me so mad. Like, they butchered the Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare like side of things as well. I don't know what they did with Battlefield Neighbor Bill. I don't know what's their deal. People didn't like it. I don't know if it's because of microtransaction or if it's because it had a lot less gameplay than they promised. And people were like, what the hell, bro? Maybe a mixture of the two. And really it's just a combination of EA's and PopCap's doing, you know, the firing of the original people working. Or at least most of them. Like, all of that charm is no longer at PopCap anymore. They might as well do something else entirely, but you can see they're a little bit devoid of creativity if they're literally taking a fan game and sort of trying to work with that. I don't think that would have been precisely a terrible idea, but it's a little bit too close, especially when the popularity of these two things are like well, this like the popularity of one thing just led to another. Like these are things are way too close. That's what I mean. I'm not happy about this state. I am quite angry. Now that I know a little bit more. I'm not I'm not sure if EA was the one to fire the original creator. Though I am pretty sure it's more something a little more to do with PopCap firing it because he outright refused to add any form of microtransactions into the game. They're like, he's not great enough. Cut his head or something like that. I don't know. I'm not speaking as perfectly as I would like to because I'm drawing and that takes way too much RAM space in my head. I stop drawing, I'm sure that I'm gonna start speaking better, but I'll get better in time. The shop theme from Skyward Sword. Oh, yeah, I'm quite sad about what has happened to it. I sort of gained a little bit more respect on certain areas to regards to Plants vs Zombies 2. Like I know who is the composer of that game. I also kind of disagree with his take on Plants vs Zombies because it doesn't sound like it. Sounds like a cartoon, but it doesn't sound like Plants versus Zombies, you know? Sounds like an entirely different set, and I think people don't really realize what Laura was doing with her interpretation of PVC. It's not. I know a little bit more right now. I know that she was very inspired by classical music once she realized that was it a Mega Man song, I believe? That used like some form of technique that classical music uses quite often. And you can hear that quite a bit on her soundtrack, and it fits, you know, her choice of instruments, the piano, the harp, because you're using your own garden. And what do you want to relate garden stuff with? You know, instrumentals like nature, things that sound natural but also kind of sound divine, you know? So that's nature, you know? And zombies just have these more electronic type of vibe to them. Like there's a lot more 80s sound to some of the tracks, you know. I don't know how to describe this. I'm not a musician. Maybe somebody can. And it's not like I don't like some of the tracks of Plants vs Zombies 2. I think Frostbite Caves, I think there's a few elements that I really like. I think the earlier tracks before, what's it called, the Middle Ages, yeah, I think I ended up enjoying those quite a bit. I didn't know that the artist that actually has worked quite often with Lucas Arts, I believe. So he was the one who made the soundtrack of Green Fandango, which is one of my favorite soundtracks of all time. Like, it's so crazy. He got that so right, but I just don't like his take on Plants vs Zombies 2. I don't think it sounds like the project. Like, he just did a cartoon soundtrack, but I didn't do a PVC soundtrack, you know. And I like the sort of duality that Laura's soundtrack expresses. Just these natural and classical elements to it, with some of the more techno and 80s soundtrack. Like, I think I wish there was something like that in PVC's 2 soundtrack. Something to express plants versus fucking zombies. And it's not like you're also fighting zombies. You're not fighting like some sort of cartoony villains, even though these are cartoon zombies. But like, it's zombies, bro. You want to go for that slightly Halloweeny sort of type of thing going on. But I am a little bit sad how things turned out, and it made me even angry to find out, like, oh yeah, they just fired the original creator. I'm like, that happened? Oh damn! Yeah, no, it's Opcat, EA, you guys suck. And people, I wish people stop defending the microtransactions. Like, but you can just ignore them. Like, also about not having them whatsoever. What's about, like, how's about just having a complete game from the start? I'm sorry, but the first game just has way more replayability. Like, way more. And it's just a short game, of course. Like, anytime I play, it's like a little bit, but a little bit has a lot more quality than PVC2. And like, PVC2 just makes me angry. And I'm not even playing the original one. I'm playing Flourished, which, yeah, and I am just learning that that version is made a little bit too hard. Because it has way too many chefs in the kitchen and way too many people saying like, oh my god, it has to be balanced. And I'm like, how's about making it fun too? Don't worry, I finally watched a video by Crips, I believe. I'll be getting another version of the game that's nowhere near as bullshit sometimes. Seriously, some of the plant price, some cost is just stupid, you know. You might as well not even go for the plant. Again, it's not necessarily also their fault, you know. Like the pacing of the game. And the fact that they completely got rid of upgrades. Which was something that PVC1 introduced, not necessarily just PVC Fusion. PVC Fusion just sort of said like, what if we took like the mechanic from PVC1 and just expanded on it in a very stupid way. Oh no, we're here. That's so bad. So angry. I also noticed something with the discourse of Plants vs Zombies. Like, people who love the first game just don't like the second one, and they absolutely despise the what the third one is doing. They're like, this is just PVC Fusion. Like, what the hell? And I believe that it's kind of it's a strange thing because the community is so divided. Like, I don't think there's a lot of people who like both at the same time. Probably Crips would be one of them. But in general, most people are like, you know something, I don't know. And I think I said this before, but like, I like some of the ideas introduced in PVC2, but it's the way the pacing is done so as to like sort of pressure the weakest players into buying microtransactions and just sort of putting these options in front of your face. I hate it. Like, I can beat the games if I want to, you know.
I know how to do this. Like, I'm not a noob. I can beat some levels, but I will like. You just went from some of the like the easiest game in the franchise to literally one of the hardest because of inflated difficulty. And I believe with the new PvC 3, they released a new alpha again. I believe that probably the most dense of PvC 2's fans were a little bit happier that a lot of elements were introduced, especially with the fusion. But particularly PvC 1 fans were like, I hate this is garbage. Because again, like, the game is in alpha state and it already has microtransactions, like, bro! And it also, like, has leveling system, but already integrated on it. So, yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming soon with that. If that game ever decides to release. If they don't, like, fold with also, like, again, tons of criticism, because, yeah. One side I see, like, people praising it, and the other side I just see people hating on it hard. But again, I think that's the differences between the two communities. But to be fair, I think at this point, the best thing that fans can do is just say fuck PopCap and let's just make our own game, and just let's wait out all the Kaizo fan games and wait until somebody has a good idea. Well, what is this? I don't like it either. I think they're oversimplifying the gameplay too. Like, each new entry has even less fun slots. Which I don't like. Like, well, back when you had 10, bro. I miss the 10, well, I don't miss it. I have the DS version. I don't need to miss it. I can just play whenever I want, but when I'm playing PvC 2, I do miss having 10 seed package slots or 10 cards, because that's pretty much what it is, you know. It's also like a little bit of a card game. Showing cards. I think also it's easier to describe, but I think let's not tell that to PvC fans, they might not like it. But it's a card game, you know? You're choosing your cards. We call them seed packets, but it's cards, bro. You cannot fool me. Just, yeah, right now it's just in a sorry state. It's just, this is rock bottom. And I don't think that people playing the game know quite what they're doing. And it shows a lot on the remaster, unquote, of the first game. They managed to take perfection and ruin it. Like, oh no, the game was already finished. The only thing you had to do was just make everything look prettier. You didn't have to touch anything, and they ruined it. I know people also like to rag on, like, the DS version, but man, DS version is good. The only thing that's a little bit shit is probably the frame rate. But also the music is quite a bit crunchy. Too crunchy. Even I'm like, damn, that's very crunchy. But, yeah, it's not comparable. It's not compare. This is, it's very mean to say, because, there are a lot of people tied to the project, and they're not necessarily at fault for the decisions of the guys on top. Yeah, I'm secretly hoping that it kind of fails, so fans can do their own version, like wait until somebody gets their groovy hands and makes a masterpiece instead. Or, you know, at a thought of, like, maybe somebody takes the formula and makes something different. No, to be fair, the bad thing about waiting until a fan that actually adores the franchise and actually knows proper game design and just not confuse difficulty with game design. It's just trying to blame others for not getting good, especially when the franchise started it with the like easiest level like possible. You know, the fucking cases, man. There's way too many of those. Like, yes, I would like a little bit of difficulty in PvC, but yeah, I will also like to chill because the most fun part isn't even the difficulty. It's just messing around with all the plants and what they do. Just coming up with different strategies instead of just trying to spam it out. That's what like a lot of people who like difficulty end up doing. Just like, what's the solution to this problem? Spam! Fucking spam! It's always fucking spam. I don't think even like the worst levels in Age of Empires use spam as much. Like, and most, like, I don't think you're that encouraged to use that much spam, especially on early stages. Especially the spammer levels. Like, oh my god. Stop with the spam, bro. That's not level design. It's not fun. Not everyone likes to eat habanero. I'm Mexican and I even don't mess with that shit. That's too spicy. I can eat jalapeno. That's a little bit spicy, but also, you know, that's tasty, you know. You can eat that raw. And you get a little bit of spice. Not that, not the garbage. Not everyone wants to like habanero raw. Yeah, sorry my mini rant on Plants vs Zombies. I'm just angry. And I'm almost tempted to just be like, how the fuck do I learn to code? Because I just want a casual PvC experience. I want like an overly hard game. And I want something that's a little bit slightly slower paced. Possible, please. Because I don't like the fast paced of the second game. The third game is even guiltier about it. Or was even guiltier. I don't know. I think they sort of slowed down the pace. Be closer to the second game, but even that's too short, man. No, I think it does have patient issues, because I did see like a couple of streams. And just like franchises at this point, you know. Oh, that looks much better. It's me ranting on the fucking game. They're dumb. Yeah, I much prefer this inking style. This feels a lot more like my own art style. Wee! That joke is very mean. It's in Spanish. You asked like, how do you say in the train killed a dog? And you just answer Lipopule Matole. I know it's mean. But I just been using it way too often. I think I replaced somebody on Game Fighters 2 while playing. They were also trying to speak French. They didn't actually know French, and I just told them that, and it was like, "Oh, so you speak French too?" And I'm like, "Yeah, of course." City times. But yeah, ooh, there's also, like, I guess this is also related to gaming news. But, you know, when I say that the Age of Empires community is very chill, I genuinely mean it. I'm not trying to glaze it too much, but it has to be one of the sweetest fan bases. Like, most of the drama is just like nothing burgers, and well, there's always toxic people online. I don't think there's nearly as much. Like, yes, you have your ragers, especially on the less what, open to the public part of the area, but you can see a little bit of that on certain types of videos. But like, the community is generally chill. But I'm very surprised that we're starting to see issues in certain areas, but because there's also like their tiny fan base, they can discuss these quite properly. And one of the casters that is also very responsible on for bringing back the game from the grave. Well, not the grave, but just make it more accessible and sort of introducing to even more people online. T90 has been talking about a lot of issues related to the competitive scene, which yeah, it's crazy, but and also it's very telling because there is a substantial amount of money in the competitive scenes for like cultures to start appearing now. So, it wasn't like that for a little while that I'm aware of. There was a lot more excitement and big ol' puppy eyes in the beginning, you know. Just I think the expression would be better if I used it like innocent filled eyes, you know, or excitement, you know, like was a little bit more candid in that way, especially starting out. But right now, there has been issues with scammers. Well, not scammers, but there was a website that was trying to introduce betting into the scene, and I think T90 was very open about it, and he was like, you know something, I don't really want this sort of thing to happen to our game. Because not only is betting kind of dangerous, but like at the end of the day, like, this could be a huge scam, you know? And there's a lot of questionable things, you know? Like, where they're getting the money from, or like if they're even like a trustworthy company to like actually manage the money, you know. They're not going to fucking steal it. But again, like, these vultures are appearing because there's apparently like a substantial amount of money in Age of Empires 2 now, in the competitive scene, that they will appear. So in a way that's like impressive, but also like scary, because there are people waiting to prey upon this little community. And not only that, but apparently a player that from Argentina called BD, he was caught cheating in a tournament, because they made a tournament for like players who weren't necessarily like top players, but had enough interesting playstyles that people just wanted to give it a shot. A dude was caught using 2 accounts trying to enter the competition. And T90 was actually the one to call it out. And bro, he was so heartbroken. But again, I think it's a good sign that Age of Empires 2 competitive community has gone so far to the point where they have enough vultures to start getting introduced into the community. But on the other side, I think it's even more impressive how these things have been handled. Because I don't know, I have heard dramas. Well, I have heard, but sometimes not all companies try to keep things respectful and fair. And when it comes to the organizer that was doing the tournament on the T90, I think they handled the things in a way they were looking out for the fairness for all players, yes. But I also sort of read around a little bit, because I am not sure, maybe somebody else knows a little bit more, that there are tournaments that do not really punish the cheaters. Just let them do whatever the fuck they want. In that case, which is very shitty, but it also kind of reflects again how solid the community is. Like, most of their competitive players just tend to be friendly to each other. And even the casters, like, are friends with the competitive players. There's friendly banter with them. There's memes with all of them. Which is very nice, but it is also very sad because, like, I remember that the biggest, most controversial drama that the community had was a hot take by a competitive player, and the other ones were like, "No, I highly disagree," and it was very polite. This is like one Canadian against like a lot of Europeans. It was one of the most polite dramas in the world, and it wasn't a drama. It's just like, oh, this guy just had a hot take. But yeah, I'm like, oh damn. So it's finally happening. There's actual drama going on. But things have been dealt with. I believe that the player has been banned for 3 years to enter any tournament. I don't know if they're going to get banned from the game. That's kind of, yeah, nasty. Cheating is not good on online games. And I might have an idea why he did it. Maybe he wanted to get more money. You know, Latin American and poverty is it's not very nice. there's a little bit of a stereotype going on there. There might have been a little bit desperation, or maybe the dude was just greedy. He paid the fucking price. Yeah, but it's just things that I appreciate. Just little communities. Let's be honest, little communities tend to be a lot more chill than big communities. Big communities, they just have all sorts of people, and the likelihood of finding a-holes is a lot bigger. It's just how life works. Still little gaming news that I felt quite strongly enough to talk about. Right now, we're just gonna be a little bit quiet. sort of regain my thought, like gather my thoughts again, and just sort of figure out what I'm going to talk about next. Oh, actually, speaking of cool, well, I haven't been speaking about cool deals. I'm just been ranting about things. But there's very cool news that I've stumbled upon. Where apparently there's going to be an, well, it wasn't an Indian production, but I was very excited because there's going to be a movie based on an epic from Hindu culture. It's called Bahabali. I don't know what's that spell. I'm sorry. Well, I think it's just mostly the same. When I think about it, I did sort of check it a little bit on Google Translate. But I generally got super excited because this movie is going to be made with what would you call it? With the Hindu perspective or the Indian perspective in mind. I'm like, oh my god, that's so good. Because we're not going to have a legend told from the perspective of like people who are actually Indian and not just American. Not that they cannot do it, it's just that I hear my thoughts with that noise. Oh my god. What is that? That does not look sound very nice. There we go. Something else. Oh my god, I don't like it. One of this music is from Animal Crossing, bro. Anyways. I had to lower that shit because nice. Nice. Okay, so yeah, I was talking about yeah, so the Indian epic Bahubali, and I was very excited because it gets promoted as being an Indian production, but then I researched a little bit and I'm like, no, that's supposedly European with a single Indian production. They're pretty much doing it like how Europeans do movies. They just get a bunch of studios to work together to make a movie, which that's fine, but just to hear that like it's an Indian production, I'm like, no, it's a lot of French and some other studios from other parts and a single Indian studio, like, bro. And we don't know what the Indian studio is actually doing. I am sure the French are doing most of the animation because they're very good at it. They have a lot of art schools over there. But yeah, I did get a little bit less excited when learning that. But I do know that that the directors and a few key people are going to be people who have made movies, or probably Bollywood. I don't know. But they have made movies and they have also earned like some sort of important things in important events for India. I don't know. They said that they were renowned for a few things, but I'm like, I don't know. I haven't heard about them. I just hope that the movie is really good, and I hope that they can tell like their own stories in their own way with their own perspective. But what's more interesting is that the movie has this arcane sort of art style, and clearly has been a lot of inspiration, but it even makes a lot more sense. Even though it's not the same company that animated Arcane, they're sort of mostly with Into the Spider-Verse sort of popularized that sort of rendering way thing for animated movies. I'm not that angry about it. I think it looks pretty, but I'm also maybe it's a little bit of a missed opportunity to find another different art style, because you know it's that little like American slash anime inspired art style. Something in between, and it has this very painterly style, which is very beautiful. It's gorgeous, but I would like to see something a little bit more different, though. To be fair, I don't know. We're also just trying to like slower following orders, and art styles could not be explored as deeply. Really, the director was like, I just want arcane art style, and the artists were like, God damn, I have to obey. And so there it is, but I'm still excited. I'm like, I want to see Indian culture from their own eyes. Like, that is what I've sort of wish more people realized, especially when it comes to diversity. I'm like, this is real diversity, just allowing the culture to speak on their own. Like, do not like, because Americans tend to Disneyfy things a little bit too much. They tend to make things a little bit too digestible. They always are like, oh, I just want diversity, like diversity, but it's not really diversity. It's just the same sort of thing, but with a different dressing. Like characters, like everything is a little bit too sanitized, and like I just want to see things from their perspective. No, to be fair, I think a lot more companies or more studios are sort of realized that they also sort of had to water things down. But there are things that they just cannot help but to avoid. Not to avoid, but like to just skip out on, you know. No, that's not what I mean. That's not sentence structure. Guys, I'm drawing. I'm struggling. Help me. There are things that they cannot help but do. There we go. Like, for example, Korean dramas, because even my mother sort of told me, like, I was talking about the accessibility of Korean dramas, and I'm like, this is very interesting, and I like how accessible it is. And she even told me, like, yeah, like, they used to be a little bit more niche, they more specific to Korean culture, but they have clearly gotten a little bit more international. Like, they have make it a little bit more tasteful for like the global audience. And there's still a few things that you can tell, hey, this is very Korean, you know. So in a way, well, at the very least, they can sort of choose what they want to like keep out of their own stories, and not like entirely leave it up to the Americans to just do their own version of watering down. Like, they can choose which elements to keep and which they don't want to keep. Oh, yeah, I'm excited because I really want to see stories from all over the world, but it's people like well, certain groups of people, especially the American side, just want to see diversity, but I don't think they quite fully understand what that means. And this is real, mostly real diversity. I am sure that they're going to make it accessible to the global market. They're gonna have to like make it more palatable. It's kind of how business has been running, really. But because there are like a lot of people working on it, or some people working on it, to be fair, are just they're from India. They're like, I think it's a great opportunity. to see a little bit of a smidge of what their culture is actually like. How they see things, what are their values. So not all the places have the same values here. Also, it's good to keep to be excited about these things because I don't think there's AA involved. The fact that they have like various studios working on this, yeah, pretty cool. Also, they might be a trilogy because it was called Bahabuli, but the part one, I'm like, how long is it? Is the epic? I might have to read that one later. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Wonderful thing. I love it when other cultures get to expose their own culture. Is so interesting. Kind of like what cartoon saloon, I believe. It's from Europe. I forgot which part. It's a very northern part. That's done with Secret of Kells and Song of the Sea. They have been doing a lot of very interesting movies with their own art style. I love that they have a very unique art style. It's very geometrical. All of their movies are just gorgeous. That has to be one of my favorite animation studios. What they do is just beautiful. And the stories that they tell are also very beautiful. Like all of their movies are just very emotionally charged, but in a very beautiful way. Just, like all of their movies make me cry. I don't really do that with movies, but the cartoons alone just get me a little bit teary. And even my dad gets teary because I remember watching the Song of the Sea, which came very close to like the movie from Guillermo del Toro, The Sound of the Sea. Was it the same? Like, it was very similar titles. The one where you have the monster fucker. Yes. But I thought that movie was better. Oh my god! Oh my god! It's so beautiful. Their movies are gorgeous, wonderful, and they have a lot of topics, like themes of family and so well, the importance of family. But the way they do it, it's just very human, very beautiful, and it's very unique. Well, I also like this unique perspective. Especially with all the Celtic lore that they add to their movies. Very interesting to see.
Also, I have a very like strong movie about talking about something that happened in the Middle East. I forgot. It's been a while since I saw the movie. It's a very powerful movie. Like holy shit, that is. It made me understand a lot of things, especially when you realize that what it was. Hang on, let me search real quickly. I did not type things correctly. It's called The Breadwinner. Yeah, that movie's intense. Like holy. I wonder what other projects they might work with. Yeah, Breadwinner. What's it takes place in Kabul. Is it that correctly? Hang on, let me go to Wikipedia. Let's see what it does. I guess it's in Afghanistan, actually. Yeah, that movie's oh shit. Yeah, if you want to like have issues, emotional issues, just watch the movie. You'll be a little bit traumatized, but holy crap. That movie sort of made me understand a little bit, and I hope I wasn't as gaslighted as I was with as Mexican people were with Alebrijes in that regard. They told the story as closely as they possibly could to the events. Unless they did. Let's take it with a grain of salt, but I still think it was yeah, it's a powerful movie. I would almost say that, in the line of The Grave of the Fireflies, but I haven't watched the movie. I don't think that making that comparison would make a lot of sense. Hold on, I need to look for an older piece to sort of see if we'll solve some problems, because I remember that I didn't quite working on that piece. But that's not where I want to be. This is Newgrounds. It's not deep. Guys. This is Newgrounds. First scroll down with through my gallery until I find the thing of hope. Should be around here actually. Yeah, there it is. There's Play and all these other characters. There we go. Like I said, it cannot even see her eyebrows. Oops. I'm experimenting, man. I generally don't like so much the brush. Oh, the brush is handling in Krita. Which is my favorite brush. It's way too light, and I've tried many times to make it as close as possible to what I'm used to in Photoshop, and the engines are too different. And yeah, maybe it's edge. I don't want to work too much, other than the portrait-sized curve. I'm having weird see. How long have we been doing this? An hour and a half. We're doing good. That's my dog sort of protesting me. It's a little bit cold, but on the other hand, that they wouldn't. No, I think no, that might be my girl. Sounds like a girl. She has had enough food. You may have to eat a little bit less than she used to. Oh, she's eating well. It cleans my floors. She eats more than well. She eats too much. She's going alright. Her journey. And that stage where we've changed her weight around. I think the best thing that I can do is sort of take her out for a walk, but I need to change to safer living space, because over here there are way too many stray dogs. After what happened with my baby Polo. Hey, I don't wanna walk them outside. It's too dangerous. Not every place is like this, but thank you. No, thank you. I'm not very good at line arts, but it looks alright. I think I much prefer doing the thin line arts. But I cannot help but experiment with these brushes for painting and like sketching. These are so fun. But for liners, I think I will stick with these. Little bits of news. Apparently, the Japanese have sort of made their own sort of Twitter for artists, even though I'm a little interested what's going to happen to Kara. Know that there's a Japanese version because that seems to like sort of divide everyone again. On the other hand, after all the bullying that people do, like people do to artists on Twitter, like it's no wonder. Like might as well just have their own little space, their own little corner. Like if you're gonna discriminate against us, fine, we'll leave. Screw you guys. Yeah, people are nasty on Twitter, and sometimes they don't even bully like those guys who have like barely this guy fetishes. Like no, they bully like innocent artists. Like they might want to try and even attempt to draw somebody with a dark skin. And they're Japanese. They're not that they don't have a lot of dark skinned people. You know, they're trying what they can. Are just ruthless, like Jesus. So why bother? You know. And they just get out of a platform. No, this has sort of introduced itself as a option. I have not heard what's the opinion on Japanese people. I just know that it exists. It's called what's it called? um Japanese Studio for Artists. Huh? What's it called? Bro, why is this unreliable? Hey? Yeah, let's go to YouTube. Hang on. Because there's technically already an option like Twitter for artists. It's called Kata app. But considering how many American artists just sort of try and bully Japanese artists, it's no wonder they don't want anything to do with anybody outside of Japan. That's a funny video tell. Why artists are leaving Twitter for Tumblr? I never left Tumblr. I sort of had an old account, but I had somebody blocked that I didn't want to interact with, and I made a new account instead. Block the person again. But no, they won't know who I am. It was a nasty person, you know. Huh? In a very unique kind of way, not like in the typical Tumblr way, because there's a lot of those. I don't actually block them, I just block the tags that they use or the names. It's a lot more chill like that. There's still a little bit unhinged people, but because there's not enough unhinged people to sort of create a chemical reactions every single time, it just doesn't happen as often. Right. Okay, maybe in recent. Hang on. I'm trying to look for the name. I think I might be repeating myself a little bit too much. It's okay. I'll keep good. I'll get good at speaking. It's an ability you create, and I'm doing it in hard mode. I'm drawing. I'm speaking out, not right now. Looking for things. I'm still like dividing my brain into two parts. Don't do that. It's not actually helpful. Hey, I want to knock a few birds with one single stone. I cannot find the video. What the hell is this? Bro. Hang on. I cannot believe I lost it. Ah, well, I don't know, bro. Why did I even bring it up? I saw it this morning. I'm like, this is Rangers. Hang on, I still have my tablet. So hang on, let me look at my tablet. Okay. I found it. It's called Pubmo. They won't even yeah, I think they're trying to do their own social site. Free of idiots. They don't know actually what culture is. They claim for diversity, but really they're just selfish people that are just trying to do to be like me instead of like, yeah, let's hear listen to everyone. They just want people to listen to them, not to people. That's the truth. That's how Twitter works. Also, they're going to even use their own payment methods because apparently, places like Pixiv has been sort of striked by the global forces and sort of trying to stop them. I mean, I don't want to talk either. I think there's some very sassy content, especially for the spicier stuff. I know it's not real. I know they're drawing, but like, there are also no like, not always consenting adults that are being portrayed. I know the whatever quotes you wrote, but yeah, no, thank you.
Is that Nintendo? Yeah, it is. This brush does make me a little bit angry. That's not what I wanted. That is the same song that I sort of I didn't want anything to do with. Probably. This song is crunchy, isn't. There we go. Too crunchy. No, thank you. I'm wondering. Just making this here and just sort of test it out. I should have done that from the start. Just make the liner on a separate layer. Just do the shadows. Oh well. Right now we chill. We're just ranting, posting opinions online. The scariest thing anyone can do. Would there anyone have opinions online? Yeah, this is way easier. Next time I'll do the line art, and if I want to do dark shadows, I just get a layer on top and paint them
Over. Hold on, let me start real quickly what I did on the piece again. So thin lines again to sort of smooth things over. And the my that already has like a crap ton of, ideally, the most illustrative of works. There is good. Okay.
Yeah, I like this.
Mm. I should probably draw some line art. So I'm looking at the older piece.
gonna... It's a little bit too big now. Oh! Ah, it's a jump scare! I'm not showing. There you go. I'm just sort of copy pasting it from Newgrounds because I don't have my hard drive connected. Yeah, it's more or less what I'm looking into. I'm really proud of this line art, but it took like a month to upgrade this whole fucking piece. And now that I look at it, I wish I did a better work with the words. I'm not very good at calligraphy. But now that I know a little bit more, like, I could have done something a little bit more with them. This doesn't look that good. I did what I could, bro. I did what I could. Alaskan baby from Jambi Heaven, and it's scared. It's a bunch of pixels. There you go. A few times where I actually use I think I'll just stop it right there for this experiment. Sort of and it's unfinished, but I just want to. I don't want to overspend on something that's meant to be an experiment. Maybe something not that color. So otherwise I cannot see what's going on. It's impossible, man. It's all black. It's like staring to the abyss, except you literally get to see nothing. You're like, where's everything, bro? Like, he doesn't even stare at me back. Nothing. I know I could do the things this way, but let's not do that. No, no, no. Let's line art it. The fucking brush. Like, I think this is mostly because I didn't finish the line art. Actually! I'm a silly goose. I can actually select it all. Never mind. There's a hole. Row 1 and feather 1. Okay. Please work. There we go. Perfect. Not perfect. Another hole. Spotted. No covered. It work finally. Still not working. What is this? Ah, because the hole is not actually covered. It's covered but in another dimension. Therefore, it's not actually covered. It's just imaginarily covered. No! He has another hole! What's with these holes? Different dimensions in time and space. No, so you're just making my job harder. There you go. That should be it. I hope. I'm gonna try and do so many experiments. Oh my gosh. That's not the correct tool. This is the correct tool. One that actually bends at your will. We're not working too hard on the shadows, so more or less giving things values, but not.
Okay, we add a filter layer. And colors. Foreground spirit. No, I want it to be like foreground to foreground. There we go. Let's just use pink to blue because that may be easy. I did something, girl. Oh my god. Okay, this seems to be it. Let's see. There we go. Map. Gradient map. Color mode. Cannot see the little tab. Main colors. There we go. Just press. Oh, yeah. Well, there kind of looks cool though. Kind of the little trick that I saw on Twitter from a Japanese artist. There we go. But somebody cared to explain to me what the fuck's going on. Okay. There you go. Well, details more, details less. I don't know what I just Krita, man. And I think Photoshop is just complex, and that program is complex and crashes. Actually, Photoshop 2019 hasn't crashed on me ever. There you go. It is certainly something. And I have a billion effects to add. Help me. Numbers. What is covers implication? What is implication? Nor implication? Okay, let's go to binary. Go to I don't know what's the difference. You? That's doing things, I suppose. Okay, it's fine. It's Oh, we do have pin light here. Help me.
That's interesting. Oh.
I have no idea what I'm doing, but this is interesting. Oh. Ah, there we go. It's questioning my reality. There we go. Just needed to group all the layers and now it actually looks normal. Overlay? Actually, let's keep that. That looks interesting though. That looks pretty similar to something else that I did elsewhere. I love the video that this playlist based on. Just probably Wata just playing with a cat. 4 hours deep focus. Oh my god. So weird start. I might have that one for later. I have to work quite a bit. Let's prove it. Although I don't really like using a lot of those playlists. I don't think they're that cool. I think they're that chill. I don't think they help me as much to study. I don't know, it's weird. It's not weird, I just get distracted. I don't think that the music fits the vibes. I think. You know what I used to focus really hard? Like really cool and epic music, because that's I'm battling boredom and wanted to be distracted instead. Just doing something else. I want something jazzy. Let's use Grim Fandango's I like that much for. Remember, this is the same guy who composed for Plants vs Zombies 2. Either it's gonna make you happier or just be like, what the hell? It's not the same, bro. And I'm like, yeah. But it kind of shows what he's actually good at, which is more like less video gaming music, a more actual music, you know. So to be fair, that's also music, you know. I don't know how to describe it, man. Like what? More normal? I that scared me. No, just an update for MP3. It's like, did the connection vanish? No, just MP3. There you go. Yeah, it's way too good. I'm not that convinced by the kazoo and PVC. It actually fits the world that it's in. I also have to respect the remaster of Grim Fandango. They just realized the game is already perfect. Like, we already achieved what we wanted here. Like, we don't have to change it. They didn't. They just sort of made it less crunchy. And I think they just sort of remade the music with an actual band, probably. I don't know. I might need to research that one, but I'm painting with. But yeah, they just practically changed nothing. They just made it accessible to modern experience, and that's it. It still has well, actually, it doesn't have pixel hunting, but it does have a particular difficult puzzles that people don't like. But outside the thing, what it does is just perfect. think his style would be most better described as cinematic, actually, now I think about it, because I a lot of Star Wars games, like in Lucas Arts, I believe. Okay, just 30 more minutes. I don't think, I think I forgot to do commentary on that one video. Um, I thought it was going to be interesting, but, you know, I think we're gonna be able to do that with just 30 minutes. On the other hand, I probably didn't want to also do that. That's probably why I forgot to, because I don't really have a high opinion on correct channel. But to quite be that, I want to ever talk about something and it to be more substantial. I mean, I just rented today, but when it comes to like taking somebody else's creative work and opinion, I'm like, I don't know if I just want to, you know, take it as stupid thing, just post it on the internet. I think for popular form of doing things, but I don't really like it. I don't like what it's doing.
we'll leave that for this experiment. Just under 3 hours. I think I'll just cut this stream right here, because I do have to do things, and I shouldn't keep people waiting for too long, especially for very important stuff like getting food. I need to get food. It's important. Yeah, it was nice to rant about things. I got it out of my chest. I got all the negativity online for your pleasure, adding into the pile of angry. Yeah, not very healthy. Well, actually, not really. I also got to talk about something that I really liked, and I'm very excited for. I really want to see where the Bahabuli movie goes out to, and I'll keep on an experiment. And there's a whole lot of nothing here. I'll fill it out later. Right now, I just want to do something nice for myself, or mess around. No strings attached, no characters, because I realized that maybe I shouldn't show my characters, because otherwise I did promise Patreon to not do that, to do only for that, things. Oops. But yeah, thanks for any spooky ghost that may have appeared on my live stream. Thank you for joining, and I see you later, alligators. I'll see you on Tuesday. We're gonna actually stream, and then on Friday, and then on Sunday. Hopefully I won't have anything getting in the way. Jesus. A lot of things got in the way. It's being very frustrating, but right now I'm glad I was able to do this. Bye bye!